I'm going to read something that I felt. Oh, someone's trying to call me, but let me reject that. I'm going to read something. So this is from the Palm Beach.
It's podcast night.
I know, right? Who's calling me? Palm Beach County Republican Executive Committee mission statement. The Republican Executive Committee of Palm Beach County is committed to promoting Republican ideals and principles, recruiting and electing qualified candidates for public office, developing a grassroots organization that will motivate the electorate to vote, and raise the funds necessary to complete these objectives. I attended
and you can find that on pbcgop.com.
Yes, PBCGOP, palmbeach.gop, or PBCGOP, both of them.
Yep.
So it is here. This is the mission statement. If you are a part of the Republican Executive Committee, and I'm sure Broward's is a very similar
I'm looking
statement.
it up right now. Our website recently underwent changes, and so I have no idea what's on there right now.
But it is on the Palm Beach counties. This is our mission. So what does that mean? That means that we need to have strategy. We need to have focus to get multiple Republican candidates elected. And that means we need to be, let me backtrack. So we were at this meeting this week, and should I say, talk about the poll? Because it's already out there all over social media, right? I mean, we were supposed to not talk about it, but it's already everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we had in our Palm Beach County GOP meeting last week, they had a straw poll because there are people that would like to endorse Donald Trump for president on behalf of the Republican Executive Committee. Now, when it comes to endorsements of races where there are multiple Republicans in any race, municipal, any primary, anything, generally, we as Republicans are not supposed to take sides, and we as a party are not supposed to take sides unless there is I think it's a 60%, right?
Yes.
Majority vote.
So I want to dive into that a little bit because this is very important. The reason why we as a party do not endorse before a primary is settled is because the voters should be determining who the primary candidate is that the Republican Party then gets behind. Okay, so by doing endorsements at this point and at this part in the game, we're basically telling all of the voters we know better than you, and that we are your voice. And this is what we want. So I just want to be very clear. And I just want to read one thing.
And it doesn't say that in the mission.
It doesn't say that in the mission. So,
mission.
FYI, there is no mission statement on the Broward GOP website right now.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's fun.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's under construction.
I just wrote this out, and this is something that I wanted to read tonight. So we have to have cool heads and the better argument. Our federal government is broken. All we have left is local, and they are coming here. If we allow our own party to destroy itself over nonsense and not focus on winning local elections, we will have failed our children.
Yep.
So I want to be very clear that this is not about Donald Trump. This is not about Ron DeSantis. This is not about
Vivek.
Nikki. This is not about presidential elections.
Wait, I thought he was still in it.
Asa Hutchinson's gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
My
So
bad.
this is not about presidential elections.
No.
This is about how we stay in control of our local self-governance. That's what this is about. And if we do not hold this to the voters, we are no better than the Democrats.
Yup.
And we are no better than trying to take away the voice of the voters. So I just kind of had to say my piece and get that out.
So again, it says qualified candidates for public office. It does not say one candidate. It doesn't say just the president. It doesn't say that we should shoot ourselves in the foot in order to get Donald Trump elected. And that's what happens when you do this type of thing, because we live in a county that is not red, not very red, not red. It is purple. Okay.
And Broward is blue.
Broward is blue. So in Palm Beach County, we don't have the luxury of just saying if we get a Republican on whoever wins the primary is going to win the election like other counties in this state do. We have to fight for every one of those votes. We have to convince on PAs to come vote with us. And we have to convince in some districts, we have to convince some of the Democrats to come vote for us. That means we have to be able to speak to them. We have to be able to have conversations. We have to be able to talk to them on the issues that affect their daily lives. And if all they see is that the Republican Party is supporting Trump, then they're going to say, well, those crazy Trumpers, I'm not going to, because they have Trump derangement syndrome. They really do.
They really do.
And they can't see past that. But if we can say, no, that is up happening in Washington, you decide that in the ballot box. But let's talk about insurance. Let's talk about roads. Let's talk about.
It takes the focus off the
It
issues.
takes the focus off the
And
issues.
this is exactly what the Democrats want us to do.
Exactly.
Yep.
We're playing right into their hands.
Yep.
And those of us, especially those of us in this room that focus on political strategy, can definitely see how this is shaping up.
Oh, yeah.
And so this
Yeah.
is not about not wanting Trump on the ballot. This is not about not wanting Trump as president. I want to be very clear about that.
This has nothing to do with that.
It has
This podcast
nothing
is not
to
doing
do
that.
with that. This has to do with how we take over and make sure that our self-governance is protected.
Right.
That's what this is about, and getting good local candidates in office. I attended an event with Rick Scott on Monday. First thing that came out of his mouth when he stepped on stage was, if you want to help fix Washington, D.C., vote in your local elections.
Right.
Yes.
So
First thing out of his mouth.
I want to bring that back. So what does that mean for us in the REC? So we sit in the REC, we're having this meeting, and the meeting was disrupted by people yelling, by people
Actually,
screaming.
Can we go back, Josie?
Yeah.
Let's go back to like what is a committeeman and
Right.
what
Okay.
that
So your committee,
that means.
a committee man or committee woman is an elected official office. So you don't have to, the first time that you take that spot, if there is no one holding that, no committee person representing your precinct, you don't have to run for it. You can sign up for it, and you get elected by the rest of the committee into your spot, which is to represent. Because we live in a representative democracy. You represent your precinct to the party, as well as you represent the party to your precinct.
Yes.
By going out and connecting with the people.
you
Ideally,
are an elected official.
you are an elected official. You know the people in your community. Your job is to rally the grassroots in your neighborhood to get them out to vote, to get them to rally behind candidates, to get them to volunteer on candidates' campaigns. Candidates. I'm going to emphasize the S on candidates, not one single candidate who is the leader of the party.
And for every 1,000 registered voters in a precinct, you get one precinct committee man
Yes.
and one precinct committee woman.
Yes.
And for instance, in my precinct, there's more than 1,000. I think it's a little over 1,000, like 1,100. So we have two of each.
Yes, mine precinct too. Actually, that's where
For
Marcy
every
and Michael.
one vote over the 1,000, you get an additional precinct man or woman.
Yeah,
Man-
over every each
man
1,000.
and
Yeah.
woman,
Yeah.
I should say.
So if there's 2,001, you get two.
Three.
You get three of each. That's right.
Yep.
Thank you. Three of each. So that is what. And then if someone is in your precinct and they would like to take your spot, that's when it would go to the ballot.
And if you look at the ballots, Democrats run, they're on the ballot. Like Democrats run for those positions, and they have an election, and it goes on the ballot.
because they have enough people who want to be on it. and
Well,
do
it really is a position of power, and for so long, the Republican Party, Democrats top down. They get their marching orders. They're like,
This
they
is what
follow
we do.
orders. This is what we do.
We don't.
We're
we
a
can't
bunch
even
of.
complete
It's like
meetings.
herding cats.
We can't even finish meetings because we lose quorum because people decide that they should stand up in the middle of the meeting, snatch a microphone out, and start yelling and screaming like it's their own personal podcast platform. Sorry, no, this is where you get to yell and scream. You work to get a podcast, you try to get an audience, and then you get to yell and scream just like we do. But you don't get to do it in a meeting where there's Robert's Rules of Order, where there is an opportunity for work to get done. I personally, I can only speak for
We
myself.
talked about this last episode, didn't we?
I feel like we talked about this a few episodes. You know why? Because the same thing happened. We were,
that's
I
right.
gave up.
That's
I
right.
really didn't want to go to the meeting. Honestly, it was Hanukkah. I wanted to be home with my kids. It was a very chaotic week in our house, and I was like, I should go. I need to go. I made a commitment to go. I'm gonna go, and I went and I left, and I was like, psh, what a bloody waste of time. And the thing that hit home, because the two big disruptions were stemmed from the fact that there's a chunk of people that don't understand the basic concept of what the job is as a precinct person. We're not there. It's not a Trump rally. We're not there to.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There are plenty of opportunities to do it. There's Club 47, which is awesome. A lot of people love going to that. They have great speakers. It's literally a
Trump
club.
Therapy Tuesday.
Trump Therapy Tuesday. There's literal Trump rallies. He's here regularly in Hialeah and different places. You can go to Trump. Get together with your friends, wear your Trump hat, do all it. Go for it.
You can join the Trump campaign.
I was going to say that's exactly
Join
what I was
the
saying.
Trump
If
campaign.
you want to get out there and you want to promote Trump and you want to get him across the finish line, join his campaign. You can do
Yes.
both.
But it does
Yes.
not say in our mission statement that that is our one and only role. And if you don't understand what our job is, a committee person, then you are disrespecting the time of everyone else in that room
That are looking to
that are
get-
looking to try to do the job of a committee person and get local candidates, get all the candidates elected, the whole Republican slate.
Yep.
We would like
need
to get
start
elected.
focusing where it's
Where our voice
from
matters.
the bottom up.
Yeah.
Where our voice matters. Let's think about this. Us here in Palm Beach County or Broward County, if we endorse Trump from the dais of the RUC, does anybody here think, raise show of hands, drop a 1 in the chat, if you think that that's going to get any more votes for Trump? Is it? No. But
No.
what is it going to get us potentially less votes for our local candidates?
Yes.
Okay. So then why would we do that?
And why it would do that is because every single Republican in Palm Beach County could vote and we will still lose.
Mhm.
That's the important part of that.
Yeah.
Every Republican could vote and we would still lose because Palm Beach County is pretty much a third, a third, and a third.
Mhm.
So
And
it's
Broward's
a third,
even worse.
It's a third Democrat, it's a third MPA, and it's a third Republican. So we need the MPAs and we need to get some of those Democrats willing to vote Republican. And we have such an amazing opportunity to do
Yes.
that right now.
We absolutely do.
Because of the political climate, most of these Democrats have gone way left. That most of the
They're off the rails.
that most of the Democrats aren't comfortable, that we have really good local candidates that will win them over because they're so good.
Yeah.
But we need to give them the opportunity, and this will shadow them. This will overcome them. Everybody will start asking, well, are you a Trump supporter? Are Trump this, Trump that? They will make it about Trump. We cannot allow them to do that if we want to win these races.
And it's just short-sighted. It's not the long
Exactly.
game. I mean,
Yes.
Let's win. Don't we want to
we
win
have
stuff?
to. I mean, like Republicans have
Ay,
to
ay,
start
ay.
vying and just running for these local races because the local candidates of today are the congressmen a decade
That's
from
what
now.
Andy
Yes.
tried to do in Boca.
A decade
Yep,
and a half
yep,
from now.
yep.
He tried. They had him on track for governor. That's why the RPOF poured so much money into Peggy's race,
Yeah.
Peggy Gossett-Simon's race, because Andy. The rumor was Andy was he was starting to climb the ladder,
Mhm.
and they wanted to cut it off. And now he's crawling back to Boca, saying, "Please take me back." Vote Brian Stenberg.
Yeah.
Brian Stenberg.
Brian from
He's not,
Boca.
he's not in the chat yet tonight. But
Come
hopefully
on,
he joins
Brian.
us.
Maybe he's out campaigning. I hope he is.
He's
His
probably
daughter's
trying to
in
leave
town.
another party for 3 hours.
Yeah, he does that. We hook him in and then we just keep him there.
But no, I mean, like
Sorry, guys.
it's so true. I mean, vote for who you want to in the primary. I mean,
Yes.
like by and large,
And not only that, I felt very intimidated because I did speak out at
Oh,
this
yeah.
party, at this meeting of our party. And I don't necessarily publicize who I vote for in the general
Yeah.
stuff a lot of times. I just don't. It doesn't matter. It's my own personal business. And if I feel that I can't speak on who I want to vote for because I'm worried that then I'm going to get heckled, which I did get yelled at. I was told bah humbug because I said we shouldn't do this. You know, apparently I'm the, Grinch or whatever. And
No, you're fiery but mostly peaceful.
there it is. It's me, ladies and gentlemen. Notice the red in the background there. No. That's for Christmas. So I shouldn't feel like I can't speak and say who I want to vote for just because, what are we, Democrats?
yeah.
That's literally
Yeah.
what it's like. There's this hive mind that has
Yeah.
come out in this world. And that is why when I was sitting in that room and I saw how people were behaving, I was like, oh, that's why they called Trumpers cultists.
Yeah.
Because it
felt
felt
icky.
culty.
Yeah.
It felt
well, I mean,
so
I told you
icky.
guys. I think I told you guys our last podcast. Like we had a similar thing happen in our last BREC meeting last
Mhm,
month.
Yep.
We had a special election for the vice chair. That wrapped up, and then it was new business from the floor, and a member got up to say, she wanted to make a motion to nominate or to endorse Trump that night, but that's not following procedure.
Right. Which we had to explain from same
Yeah.
people. Like Kevin, our chairman, Kevin Neal, explained the procedure like
You have
4
to
times.
You have to formally notice a meeting and a vote
and
like
the
that.
candidates and this and you run. Sorry, go ahead, and then we'll tell the other part.
No, so I mean, like again, like you were saying, like people started walking out. We lost quorum, and the meeting ended.
Mhm.
But I know that it is being planned that a special meeting is being planned for the beginning of January to hold that vote in the Broward GOP. So
So they are going forward. They
are
passed-
moving forward to try to formally endorse Trump, forfeit state fees in the process. Could be upwards of $15,000 to $20,000 for 2024, it's looking like we potentially could have 2 separate meetings in January because they want to have it the first week before the qualifying period for the municipal elections even closes, and we're going to have to, have a candidate spotlight for them.
And do you think it will hurt you as a party in Broward if this?
I don't think it helps us one bit. I know there have been some members. Actually, someone commented on one of our Twitter posts here for We the Locals saying it would be a bold move. But bold to who? I mean, like the people that have Trump derangement syndrome, it's going to turn them off even more.
Exactly.
And if Trump is endorsed at the top of the ticket, and then they have all these other candidates that they're endorsing for school board, for city commission,
they're only going to see their name linked with Trump.
They're going to link that
Right.
name with Trump, and the people that are turned off by Trump are going to be turned off to all of these down ballot candidates.
Yeah.
And it's going to backfire.
It is.
And for the people in the REC that's all they care about, they're missing the point of the REC.
And that's why I wanted to open what I was saying with our mission statement, because and then someone said after I made my comment, and a couple other people made similar comments as I did about strategy and all these things. And then someone got up there and all they talked about was the identity of the REC, and aren't we MAGA Republicans, and aren't we this and aren't we that? And honestly, I was like, what does that even mean? And why do I have to say that is who I am in order to be in the REC when that has nothing to do with the mission statement of the REC?
We need to be
So-
not MAGA, but as Rose says, we need to be local AF.
Exactly.
In the